We're live. We're live. We're live.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How you
Hey,
doing?
what's good? What's good? What's
Can you
good?
tell what's different? Oh,
Can you tell?
well, there is a difference today, which rarely happens on here. Dr. Lisa is on my left. I mean, my right, because for 9 years, you've seen her in here on my left.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because I'm in the big chair, her chair, normally. It's because she's got to go and get her hair did.
I gotta go.
When she has a chance to get in with her barber, she got to take
I
it
gotta get in where I fit in.
because we're going to hit the road on Thursday. So we got to get everything tight and fresh, right? So she's going to hang out for just a few minutes.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Now, today's topic, I knew Dr. Lisa wasn't going to be here with me today, okay? But today's topic is what makes you angry?
What makes you angry?
Now, at this age, we would like to think that we have anger conquered. We don't get angry. We might get upset here and there, but we don't get angry. But then there are some times we do get angry. And then there's sometimes I think anger is the right reaction. And then there's other times I think, like, for example, when I'm driving, it might seem to Dr. Lisa that, like on the highway driving, it might seem to her like I'm angry because I'm fussing at the other cars. But I'm really not. I'm tension relieving, which is helping me to be goal achieving. My goal is to get us there safely. So I have to pay attention to all these fools on the road who have to be in the far left hand lane and drive the speed limit. Ugh. And the other people that are circling the earth to the left, the whole world. That's why they keep their signal on to the left. They're going around the whole world that way. Okay. So you pay attention. Go ahead.
Anger for me invokes a very, very visceral response that I usually try to avoid, which is why I think I spent most of my life avoiding it. And I think what has happened, it has caused me to realize that I wasn't avoiding it, I was just suppressing it. And I think what's happening is contents under pressure will explode.
Oh my gosh, I got a great example from a TV show called The Odd Couple that ran in the 70s.
I love the odd couple.
And ooh, where is it? But we'll be right back and talk about this again. We don't have Dr. Lisa for long today.
After these messages, we'll be right
So if y'all
back.
need to say something to her, y'all need to do it quick because oh shoot.
We're glad to see you. It looks
I just
like
messed
we
something
short.
up.
That's okay. We short. It looks like the commercial was shortened, but that's okay because I only have 8 minutes before I have to leave in order to get to my location on time. So we're talking about what makes you angry, and I think before we even explore that, you were about to go into the odd
Yes,
couple.
yes. Oscar and Felix. Some of you guys are old enough to remember Oscar and Felix. Please go to the comments for me. Oscar and Felix. Some of you guys are old enough to remember them. Oscar was the sloppy one. Felix was the fastidious, super neat one. You know, that kind of thing, that dynamic. And these two men living together without driving each other crazy. But there was this one time where, because Oscar was always, Felix was always either one of which one was always fussing at the other one?
Everybody was fussing at everybody.
Okay, I think this was Oscar
But-
always fussing at Felix, always arguing, Felix, I can kill you, all that kind of stuff, always arguing at Felix. And then finally someone gives him some counsel saying, Oscar, don't fuss at Felix. They actually hypnotized him so he couldn't argue, he couldn't yell, and couldn't scream. And he became super nice to Felix all the time. Even when Felix would piss him off, he was just super nice. And what happened, he started getting these nervous tics and started getting cranky about other stuff and started getting all crazy. And they were all trying to figure out what's wrong with him. And then, you know what? He hasn't yelled at Felix yet. They got the guy back in or something like that, and they got him back to normal. And he let out a good yell and scream, Felix, how could you do that?
It was missing.
And everybody was happy.
It was missing the opportunity to release some of that stress. I think we get
That's what was going on. He didn't release it.
absolutely. And we get to find out. But I think what happens is, just like one of the things you often say is as a married couple, you ask the other person things that when you were single, you might have to know for yourself. But when you're married, all of a sudden it's who has the brain.
Yes, I play that game.
Right, play that. But oftentimes we have owned the role. That's the peacekeeper. She's the peacekeeper. Growing up, you were the peacekeeper. You were the peacekeeper. And you played that role for so long and so well that you didn't have the opportunity to explore the other parts of who you are.
Oh my God, the roles we play, we can dive into that too, because maybe when some person might have been the peacekeeper growing up, but I was always the smart one. Okay, and I was always the peacekeeper too, but breaking up arguments. Although I was down to fight, I always laugh when I think about my fighting days. My particularly for me, my freshman year in high school, I had four fights in school that year, and I don't know why I was 13 years old. I mean, but that was a rough year for me too. There was just I remember one incident. There was these two guys. I was working out all the time too. I was kind of muscular too in
You're
high school.
13.
I'm 13. I was very muscular. Okay. If I took off my shirt, everybody would go, ooh, even back then. So there was these two dudes that was smaller than me, but close to my height. But they kind of like joked around about me a lot because I was a smart boy. I sat up front. They'd like sit behind me and clown me, making jokes. McNeill this, McNeill that, da da da, ha ha ha. It was one day in math class, and I turned around to them. I said, as soon as this bell rang, I'm kicking both of your asses. I'm kicking both of your asses. Okay, that's what I said. And turned back around. The bell rang. I got up, went back there to now what's up? Where are your jokes now? They're backing up, they're backing up, they're backing up. It was two of them. And Mr. Dean I remember he runs across, he dives in front of me, because I was going to try to whoop both of their asses. So what if you kick their asses? It's obvious you can kick their asses, he's saying this out loud. So you kick their asses and then what? And all that kind of stuff. And then they left the class and they didn't bother me no more.
Good morning, William Brown. Good morning, Shirley.
William Brown.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, William Brown, I'm so happy that you're here.
And I'm grateful.
We haven't talked about any of the negative. Is that natural for us? Today's topic is what makes you angry, but we've only been talking about anger in a positive sense. We haven't said any negative yet.
I think that one of the things that we are realizing is that when we avoid anything, as opposed to putting it in balance and utilizing it, because I believe anger is another emotion. We didn't create anger. God didn't even say there was anything wrong with anger. He said, be angry and sin not. He said to be slow to anger.
That's right.
And I understand.
Whoa. That's two good ones. He says be angry. Be it.
Feel your feelings.
Feel your feelings, but don't sin. And he says be slow to anger. He didn't say don't go to anger. He said be slow to anger. All right? And then he also said, maybe not Bible, but somewhere it said, be slow to anger, but fast in your reconciliation or quick in your reconciliation. I read that somewhere.
That may have been a poem using be slow to anger, but I think it's really important that we realize that some of the things that we overlearned was because someone had an experience with it that was so overblown they wanted to make sure that no one had that experience again.
Right.
So they overcorrected. Now don't get angry because this is what happens when you get angry.
Yeah.
So then you never get angry. And then this is what happens when you get angry. But it's not because you were never supposed to anger. It's supposed you're supposed to control anger. You're supposed to express it and control anger.
Last night, yesterday, I told you guys on here that one of the things I was going to do to make my life better was to read 10 pages a day. And I read 11 pages last night. I was thinking about going to do a 12 page, but I would start a new section of the book. But I read 11 pages, so I honored what I said to you guys yesterday. I was feeling good about it. But based on what I had read in the first chapter of the book I was reading, Inner Excellence, and I was thinking, okay, we're going to talk about what makes you angry. And I thought last night before I went to bed, I knew what it was. I thought what made me angry was, not being heard, not being listened to, or being ignored. Those things make me angry. That's what I thought was. But the longer I thought about it, that'll make me that angry as I thought I did last night. So I can't even bring that to you today and say this is the thing now.
Well, to be honest, good morning, Dr. Beverly.
Good
She
morning,
says, Grand
Shirley.
Rising to my favorite beautiful family. Amen. Shirley said, people make me angry, but
But
I
I
just
just
walk
walk
away.
away.
I think we need to ponder that.
Okay.
People make me angry, but I just walk away. I know Sister Shirley, and I know that all people don't make her angry.
Right.
And I think that oftentimes what happens is we know that some people make us angry, so then we might avoid all. But going back to your point about what you thought was making you
Last
angry,
night.
I had the very same thought, the very exact same thought.
Mm.
But let me frame it a little bit differently. For me, I realized that it was never being seen
That made you
that made me angry. But it didn't make me angry then. It made me quest to find out how to be seen.
oh,
What makes me angry now is that I didn't give myself permission to be discovered versus be seen.
that sounds, sweetheart, like you're taking the blame for that.
I'm not taking the blame, I'm taking the responsibility
Okay.
because whomever might have been to blame back then may either be gone or oblivious to it. And I know that a lot of the evolution of who and what I was as a direct result of some of the predicaments that I was in. And I was just figuring out the best way to cope. But now at my big age, I get to realize that the way I coped then doesn't have to be the eternal way to cope with things.
William Brown says, I
I
don't
don't
choose
choose
anger
anger
currently
currently
because
because
I
I
don't
don't
have
have
a.
a healthy understanding with it. Absolutely. And
It is something that I have tried to explore in the past.
and anger is taking me now in ways that I have not ever allowed it to take me.
Good morning, Lena Janelle.
And I agree with you, William Brown, but I have decided that I have to give it room or it is going to overtake me. Uzama says, people that waste or attempt to waste my
Or attempt to
time
waste my time.
makes me angry.
For a lot of people, that waste my time, especially if you think they're doing it, even if you tell them not to, unwittingly. Look, I got to get back to work. Yeah, but let me tell you about the. I was watching the game, right? Look,
Gotta go.
okay,
Love y'all.
Lisa got to go, y'all. That's why it wasn't an optical illusion. She was on my right this time, but she was just sitting there so that I didn't have to jump out of the chair when she had to leave. But now I'm in the big chair. I wanted her to sit up here with us for at least a little bit. She's going to go get her wig done, her hair did, so that she have her hair did, face did, feet did, everything did. Shouts out to Dr. Calvin Mans. I want to give him a Lisa, are you still upstairs? On your way back, please hand me my coffee cup. She said, I said, are you still upstairs? She says, no, I'm in the bedroom. But the bedroom is upstairs. Oh, William Brown says, I work hard to not let anyone or anything make me anything. He works hard to not let anyone or anything make him anything. Isn't that an interesting thought? Not anyone or anything making him sad. Not anyone or anything making him angry. Not anyone. Does that include happy as well, William Brown? Because he does say anything. Thank you, sweetheart. He does. He works real hard not to let anyone or anything make him anything. Amazing. Sister Lena Janelle says, experiencing greed, jealousy, and cruelty in people towards others angers me. Wait, come back, Lisa. That's what Lena Janelle says. Lisa says she loves you, but she got to go. She got to get in the car, man. She's not leaving forever. She's got to go get her wig did. That's all. She's taking responsibility, personal care. We're gonna be out of town on Thursday. So she gotta get her shit together. Remember back in the 70s? Get your shit together. Some of you guys are old enough for that. Oh my gosh, old enough for that. This is what I was hoping would happen, that you guys would contribute in such a way that you guys could kind of teach. What makes us angry? I love, love, love the commentary so far. What makes us angry? I'm with you, Lena Janelle. Cruelty. I can't stand it. Bullying. I can't stand it. I have always been a bully slayer. If there was a school bully, if there was a bully while I was in the army, that's the one I was going to fight. I was going to pick at the bully till he fought me. I've done it lots of times. Even at concerts, if I saw somebody bullying something like, I remember at a concert one time, well, I didn't get to beat him up all the way. Um, but I became a little bit of a bully too. Just a little bit. Lena Janelle says, I feel William Brown on having control over emotions. Love it. William Brown says, it includes happy. Interesting. I work hard to choose my doings. How about that? How evolved is that? It includes, he works really hard not to let anyone or anything make him anything. He wants to control his own emotions. He wants to control his own doings. That seems like some higher level and more evolved state kind of stuff, William Brown. Thank you for that submission. Dr. Beverly, good morning to you. She says, I'm not sure I get angry anymore. I'm not sure I get angry anymore. I just say these words. Oh, you big mad. Especially when others try to make me mad. Oh, you big mad. Dr. Beverly. Oh, you should go put on your cape. Because that way you could be super mad. Oh, she's not sure. She probably does, but she's just not sure that she gets angry anymore. And saying, oh, you big man is a way to amuse her and diffuse that potential feeling for her. That's what I think is going on there. Interesting. I'm still flying on William Brown. That includes happy. Shirley DeJeanette Wyatt said, my sister in love always try to act like she is better than me and always try to put me down. Does that sister-in-law make you angry? Because you did highlight two things that could make you angry. That she thinks she's better than you and she's trying to put you down. For some people, that would make them angry. Dr. Beverly says, bullies these days don't exist because people these days are anger driven and ready to shoot. Interesting. Anger driven. And you know what? I think she's right. I think there are some people that live their lives looking for one thing to be angry about to the next. I'm angry about this until I'm not. Now I'm angry about that. And sometimes, Dr. Beverly, sometimes that's a profession. Tavis Smiley had that profession. Jesse Jackson had that profession. Uh, Al Sharpton had that profession for a little bit, and they call themselves advocates. They look for wrong, and then they go fight for the wrong. They go fight for the cause. Maybe that's not quite as far as you were going, but they were looking for something to be upset about that they can go fight for. Shirley Jeanette is laughing at Sam. Good morning, Miss Phyllis. Happy that you're here today. Dr. Deborah is in the house. Good morning, Dr. Deborah. What makes you angry? Is there anything that makes you angry? How do you deal with it? If you scroll up and read these comments, we've had some high-level commentary. Shirley Jeanette Wyatt says, it does not make me mad because I think that she is jealous. And you're probably right, Sister Shirley. She's probably jealous of you. No one ever kicks a dead dog. If it's dead, if it doesn't matter, no one's kicking that. Okay. Someone that's talking junk about you is because they recognize that you're alive. No one's going to talk junk about someone that's not a threat. We talk junk about people that's a threat. I learned that late in life myself, actually. One of my cousins, God rest his soul, he's gone. And I talked to him. His name was Kenny Covington. He passed just a year ago. I talked to him in our adult life a few years ago. I was like, man, because I always loved him. He always loved me. But we competed so fiercely and everything. Like one-on-one basketball was like life or death. Playing pool, racing, fighting. He didn't fight me that much. But anything we did against each other was such a fierce battle. I said, why do we fight so hard against each other as kids, Kenny, you and I are such great friends, but in kids, we were just so adversarial. And he said this to me, because I saw you as a threat, Brian. I saw you as a threat, even back then. Really interesting. I didn't think of it that way, but he always did. So he had to come at me hard as he could. Wow. Sister Dr. Beverly says, when people put on the left signal and turn right, that makes her mad. Ah! Oops, they made a mistake, Dr. Beverly. I don't care they made a mistake. That still pisses me off. Sister Lena Janelle says, preach Brian in all caps with exclamation points. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Now, if Lena Janelle enjoyed you, you've been endorsed. I'm I went to bed thinking I wanted to talk about what makes you angry. But just in the first 19 minutes on here, I've discovered from Dr. Lisa for primarily that there are some positive parts of it. Contents under pressure. What happens when pressure is not allowed to be released? It busts pipes. Pressure bursts pipes. So, I talked about the odd couple when he wasn't expressing himself fully. Dr. Lisa often says to people, feel all of your feelings. Feel all your feelings, whatever it is. She feels like if you're sad, you should feel sad until. If you're angry, you should feel angry until. Whatever your feeling is, she suggests that you feel all of your feelings. And she also reminded us about um, be angry and sin not as a what do you call it? Not a commandment, but is it a commandment? It's not one of the Ten Commandments, but it's a thought. It's in the Bible. It says, be angry, but sin not. And it does, and it's highlighting to me today, be angry. It says you can do that. Be that, but don't sin in your anger. And it also says be slow to anger. It doesn't say don't get angry. It says be slow to it. Those things are in my head right now. Those things, because it's true. You do have feelings. And one of the feelings that we have is anger. It's not a positive emotion. Anger held onto can make you sick. If you hold on to anger, it can physically make you sick. Dr. Deborah says, it really bothers me when people are always quick to judge others, but can rarely see their own stuff. Amen. Amen. Whoa, 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 whoa. How dare you judge that person like that? And you calling them out, and you are this. You do the same, and you've done the same. It pisses her off when people are quick to judge others. That's what Dr. Deborah says, but can't even see their own stuff. Don't complain about the snow on the neighbor's roof when you have dust in your doorway, right? Lynn Janelle also says, Lisa is right. All of, feel all of your feelings. Be angry, but sin not. And she also hits it with a yes. Can't I just feel Lena Janelle's enthusiasm in her commentary? Oh, man, I had yesterday I had this experience. I shout out Dr. Calvin Mann when I first got on here because yesterday they have a podcast called um, Family First Podcast, something like that. I'm probably messing up the name. It's for the Family Podcast, and they wanted me on there as a guest to talk sales because he felt families need to understand sales. Is what he did, and they both are strong believers. It's a husband and wife team. And man, we went in. We laughed and talked and laughed and talked, and I got a chance to be great with those people. It was one of the great podcasts that I've done recently. I do one or two podcasts. It seems like every week. I have another one that I'm doing tomorrow at noon. Sister Virginia Rutherford Hall, her podcast. So I'm excited about that too. So these podcasts, by the way, if you're an entrepreneur, um, there's so many podcasts that need guests. They do, and don't get thrown off by um, how big the podcast is, because the bigger podcasts they very often want you to pay to be a guest, and I don't want to pay to be a guest. So I'll go on pretty much any of the podcasts that ask me to. and I'll be great because there's something I understand too. The average American knows 600 people. It's the average American. You might know more than that. And if you do great by one, if one has a great experience with you, they can tell a few of the people that they know. If they have an unpleasant experience with you, they can tell more of the people that they know. So I'm encouraging you, for an entrepreneur, to consider a strategy to reach out to podcast hosts. I have a whole letter that I send to them, the ones that I want to be on, and some find me. I send them a letter about why they should have me as a podcast guest, how their guests would find value in having me on. So, interesting topic, just because you guys are so smart. For those of you guys just tuning in, Dr. Lisa was here, but she had a hair appointment this morning at 9:30. So, and her barber's like 15 minutes away. So she had to leave to make her hair appointment because she's going to get a barber appointment. She's going to get her hair cut so that we could be right because we're going to skip town on Thursday. We have a few trips coming up. Dr. Lisa and I, we're going to make some road trips, so we're excited about that too. You have anything cool coming up? Today, I have a few clients. I had a good day yesterday. How about you? Today's topic, I want to dig back into it. What makes you angry? Now, Dr. Beverly mentioned people in the right-hand lane putting a left turn signal to make a right turn makes her angry. I don't know if anger is the right word that does it for me, but frustration. It looks like anger though. When I'm driving and on the highway, and I drive in the fast lane typically because I have some place I'm trying to go to. I'm not just in the car driving for the sport of driving. I'm trying to go someplace. Okay, I drive 10 miles over the speed limit typically. The speed limit's 70, I'm doing 80. That's how I drive. Okay, 80, 82, 83, something like that. I'm not doing 90, I'm not doing 100. Okay, but I'll do 10. Speed limit 65, I'm going to do 75 to 80. That's about my range. But there's some people who act as if it's their job to slow down people that's driving 10 miles over the speed limit. They act like they work their butts off to get into the left-hand lane so that they have a long tail of cars waiting to pass them. And it seems to me that it delights them when they can't get around. So now you got a tail of 2 cars, 3 cars, 5 cars, 6 cars, all angry at your butt for being in the lane that you shouldn't be in. And we're looking for a way to get over. As soon as they clear over this way or that way, we're going around your butt. So let's say when the clearing comes and you see 1, 2, 3 cars zipping past you and all of them giving you the old mean look. And I always do. Because you have to see what kind of person was driving like this. Was it a lady or a man? Was it an old or young person, black, white? You got to just, I have a whole system, filing system where I put everybody in their category, old Asian lady, old Indian man, whatever, okay? I put them all in their categories. That the person did that crazy thing. So when I drive around them, I give them the old mean look like. That's what I have to do. Everybody, I don't care who it is. If I catch you doing something, I'm going to give you the old mean look. Because it's my job, man. So if I'm preaching to somebody here about how they drive, good. Because I don't want you to drive like that. I've mentioned this before on the high, and I do fuss in the car. I do fuss in the car. Look at this. Oh, I can't believe this person. I do that. And I'm going to tell you how corny I am. I'll fuss at someone doing something stupid in the car or something like that. I'll give the finger, but I won't let them see it. I'll do it down in the door. That's just for me. It's not for them. I'm not going to cause them. I'm not going to go like that to anybody and then cause an accident because they have to get back at me. I saw that one time on the road too. Lena Janelle says, I have a situation I'm dealing with now with some folks that I love, but they did something greedy and unethical that affected me. I think they're going to get in trouble, so I'm angry at them for being foolish. I hate when some of God's people think that their slick plans won't be chin checked by him. Holla, he's going to chin check you. Humbled by him. I love to collaborate with others, but if you're a bit ethically challenged, I get angry because we are better in numbers. Thank you, Lena Janelle. And God will chin check you. He will check your chin. You so you tough. You can handle some stuff, okay? You gonna make your own rules. Let me check that chin for you. Sometimes your legs go right out when you get your chin checked. But those people that you love. I ran into in my adult life. I ran into one of my friends back in Brooklyn. We were good friends back in Brooklyn. We played a lot of basketball together, and I ran into him here in North Carolina. And he was so excited to see me, and I was so excited to see him. He invited me over to his house, and I went with my lady to his house. And he was like, "Man, I'm glad, man. Look, we could do this and we could do that together." And he was laying out for me schemes as to how he could rob people or trick people. And he had like a couple of them in mind, unethical stuff. I said, "Whoa, man, and Tony, I don't do nothing like that. I don't roll like that at all. I never roll like that. What makes you think I would want to do any of that? You never saw me like that before. I don't do any of those things." But that was him as an adult. He wanted to figure out ways to get over and scheme. And he's a schemer. And so I didn't hang with him. Okay. Dr. Deborah says people who mistreat children. Mistreating children. Whew, that's a different kind of anger there. That's a different kind of anger. Mistreating of children. That's a child. Their brains are not fully formed. They're not mature. They don't know the right thing to do all the time. You know? Cat Williams says, your child's supposed to want Skittles in the store and you're over there beating on them. Okay, they're supposed to act like that. That's churning. You know? One of the famous scenes is and if you pull into a Walmart parking lot, they have light fixtures all throughout the parking lot. They have a lot of cameras in a Walmart parking lot. Anything you do in a Walmart parking lot, you're gonna get caught on camera. The average adult just traveling in the city is filmed about 14 times a day. Just moving about normally. You're on camera. But there was this one scene, this lady in a pickup truck with a four-door pickup truck. She gets out of her truck and opens up the back door, look around, make sure no one can see, and she starts beating on this 3-year-old girl, just pow, 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 pow. And then she's like, fussed at her some more and look around, make sure no one can see. Pow, pow, pow. And the child is back there cowering and taking these blows. And mom was just beating that child. And I was so angry watching it. That woman got arrested because it was caught on camera. Somebody gonna see you. Mm, 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 mm. I had a visceral response to seeing that too. Ugh. Blonde hair, dirty blonde haired white woman beating up on her little child. And you can see the child was blonde in the back seat too. Long blonde hair. And I just saw that just a lot of things. Not only mistreating children makes me angry. Selfishness makes me angry. Selfishness. Not caring about anybody else but yourself. That makes me angry, which is one of the reasons why I severely dislike the current president of the United States. Because I think he's super selfish. I think he's not curious about finding solutions. I don't think he cares about the average person. I don't think he wants to be helpful. I just think he wants to line his and his friends' pockets, and he doesn't care who gets hurt along the way. I despise that. Sister Shirley D. Jeanette Wyatt says, good morning to Lena Janelle, baby. Lena Janelle says, needed to get that off my chest. Thank you, Brian, with an exclamation point. I am praying for these friends, but God's will be done. It's out of my control. I get angry with people who take advantage of others in need. Oh my gosh. Taking advantage of somebody in need. That's low. That's very low. Someone in need of food and you're going to take advantage of them. Someone needing shelter and they get taken advantage of. That's really, really low. Sister Vicki Linnell Evans, she says, Shirley Jeanette Wyatt, good morning, Queen. Good morning, Vicki. Again, this show is already, from the first few minutes, has taken a turn different than where I thought it was going to go. I thought this was going to be a gripe session, but it's not. This has turned into, we've discovered positive aspects of anger. We've talked about levels of control that we have. And we've even talked about strategies that we have to deal with this. That's because you guys are amazing. Shirley Dejanette Wyatt says, Brian K. McNeill, I am never selfish. And I don't believe you are ever selfish. Vicki Linnell Evans says, good morning, fam. What? We got Katura Green up in the hizzy this morning. Good morning, Katura. How you doing? Again, today's topic was, if you're looking for Dr. Lisa, she went to go get her haircut, but she was here for the first 10 minutes of this show today. She left after 10 minutes. But Vicki Linnell Evans, is there such a thing? Or what makes you angry? Or are there any positive parts of your anger? Getting that off your chest, like Lena Janelle just said. Katura Green, Lisa's sister. They look like sisters anyway. Is there anything that makes you angry? William Brown submitted earlier. He works hard to make sure that no one and no thing, not anyone or anything, can make him, get this part, anything. No one or anything can make him anything. No one can make him happier or sadder. That I asked, did that include happy? He goes, yes, because he wants to take control of his emotions. He wants to take control of his doings. How cool of a phrase is that? So is there such a thing? Anyone else have another strategy? Again, Dr. Lisa lifted it up. The word does say, be angry, but it also says, but sin not. Mm-mm. Coffee. The greatest liquid, greatest drink ever invented was coffee. There's a classic scene in the movie Airplane, made in the mid-70s, 77. So it's hilarious. If you've never seen Airplane, the original version of Airplane, it's hilarious. But the plane is falling apart. The pilot's passed out. This is a really, really dire situation. And the stewardess comes back and tells the passengers all this bad news. The pilot's passed out, the plane's falling apart, and all this stuff. And everybody's just sitting there listening. And then one guy stands up, are you telling us everything? And she goes, and we're also out of coffee. And then the whole plane flips out, wrestlers appear out of nowhere, everyone's fighting, climbing over each other because all that other bad stuff didn't get a response. But when she said, and we're also out of coffee, flipped out. So out of coffee makes people angry. Sister Vicky says, I try to control that emotion, anger. I try to control it, anger. And trying it is a trip part too. Vicky also says, I try to pinpoint what in a situation that is unnerving me, and I address it. Holla. Sister Vicky will address it. That's how she is. She's not going to be angry about it and just let it go. She's going to address it because we synced her do it. I'm also an addresser. I'm not going to let you upset my world in any way, without my permission. You're not going to do that. Lena Janelle says, yes, I can't stand to see folks mistreat children. And the current, get back here. And the current occupant of the White House definitely makes me angry. The level of cutting up he does would be downright hilarious if it were a cartoon series and not our actual lives, in all caps. Agent Orange is a Disney villain. I'm surprised he doesn't disappear and appear behind smoke with a small animal on his shoulder. Yeah, we do have to laugh to keep from crying. Qatar gave him a jet airplane. The nation of Qatar gave him a plane, and he's accepting it. No one else can get away with that. Why would they give you a plane, dummy? It's quid pro quo. They want something for that. That's why politicians are not supposed to take gifts. And he's going to accept the plane. He don't give a daggone about rules. He's already demonstrated he's willing to break the law because you can't enforce the law against him. Because summer ago, or 2 summers ago, the Supreme Court said a sitting U.S. president can't be found liable. You can't be brought up on charges as a sitting president. So he don't care if it's breaking the law. He's just going to keep doing what he do. Dr. Deborah says, I must admit that even as a psychotherapist, perpetual victims still get under my skin. If nothing is ever because of your decisions, then you have given away your power to change anything. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Dr. Deborah, I'm going to read that again. I must admit that even as a psychotherapist, perpetual victims, people who are always the victim, perpetual victims, still get under my skin. If nothing is ever because of your decisions, then you have given away your power to change anything. They have no control. Everything that's bad to them is because of something somebody did, or something that's going on outside of themselves. And even as a psychotherapist, that gets under Dr. Deborah's skin. Yeah, I have friends like that too that have been depressed for 20 years. They've been, yeah, that's one. And do you ever get out of it? Okay, do you ever get past that? Do you ever allow yourself to find solutions so that you're not in this state anymore? It's 9:39. Around 9:30, we do Today in African American History. And we take it from this classic book here, Today in African American History, 366 days of historical events and accomplishment, written by a guy named Michael Carson. Michael Carson has been one of our guests before, and we're excited to say that. Today is May the 13th. I'm going to share something. We're going to keep this going. In 1969, James Charles Evers became the first African American mayor of Fayette, Mississippi. He was also the first African American candidate for governor in the state of Mississippi. He was the brother of civil rights activist Medgar Evers. How about that? Mm-mm. I'm going to do one more. In 1987, the first National Black Catholic Congress, the NBCC, since 1894, met in Washington, D.C. It was comprised of members of organizations that represented African American Roman Catholics who work with national Roman Catholic organizations. The bishops elect one of the members to serve as president of the NBCC Board of Trustees. Two other members are elected to serve as trustees. Catholic journalist and civil rights leader Daniel Rudd founded the Congress in 1894. How about that? We learned something, and we've been learning stuff. How about that? Dr. Beverly submits, let's see. Dr. Beverly submits, why do people want something and they know they owe you their life? Hint, why do people, wait a minute, let's go back. Why do people want something and they know they owe you their life? Hint around about asking you for something else when they know they have no room for grace. Ooh, they want something from you, but they don't forgive, and they still owe you, is what I'm ascertaining she meant. Lena Janelle says, I use humor, creating art, enjoying music, prayer, and talk to my friends and my guy to get through. Yeah. Her friends noticing she had to separate and just make the distinction. My friends and my guy. Your guy's your friend too, right? No, no, no. Y'all my friends, but this is my guy. I can joke with Lena like that because she like my sister, y'all. She might be mad at me. I hope not, anyway. Dictionary 11 says, I've seen anger displayed in the form of domestic violence. That's why I became an advocate to assist those experiencing it, finding solutions to move from victimization to survivorship, to thrive and stay alive. My mother was a victim. Of course, that's going to impact Vicky viscerally. And as an adult, when in places where she can, she's going to do something about it. Amen. Thank you, Sister Vicky, for that. Dr. Deborah says, I must say that even with our present country leader in office, I still get perturbed at those who did not vote for an alternative, but they still around here griping. Shut up. If you didn't vote, shut up. If you thought your vote was worth playing with, I'm going to vote for the gorilla. I'm going to vote for my mom. Okay. This was not, I mean, endorse your mom, let your mom know you love her, but this wasn't the election to play around and not show up. I'm feeling you on that, Dr. Deborah. Lady Janelle says, good question, Dr. Deborah. Shirley Dejanette Wyatt says, have a blessed day, everyone. It's 9:43. Shirley's highlighted for me. It's time for us to do the greeting songs and greeting logos. Y'all pray for me. I don't have Lisa here. I'm going to work my way through these songs. Oh, I do feel trepidation every time. And when Lisa's not here, and I know I got to do the songs, it just makes it sends something through me. I've done it. I've done it a bunch of times without her here. I know I can do it, and I'm going to do it as good as I can do it today. But I'm still like, oh, I need some help. So here we go. Up first today was Mr. Uzama Ra. He's got a song because he's a consistent contributor. His song goes like this. His greeting song goes like this. Bitcoin King. He's the Bitcoin King. Uzama, Bitcoin King. He's the Bitcoin King. Uzama. That's the version you get from me, bro. I ain't choking, shoulder shaking like Lisa. William Brown's got a song too. His song goes, good morning to our friend Will. Nobody thinks like him still. We love him so, and we always will. Our friend Will. Good morning, Mr. William Brown. Shirley Dejanette Wyatt's got one too. Shirley Dejanette Wyatt will rock you, rock you. Shirley Dejanette Wyatt will rock you, rock you. That's her jam right there. Because she's a contributor. She makes this feed pop like Dr. Beverly makes this feed pop. She's got a logo, and it goes like this. Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. And good morning to you and the rest of your crew. Dr. Beverly's logo right there. Lena Janelle got a song that goes, Lena Janelle, baby, that gets high off her art. Don't behave. Ooh. Good morning, Lena Janelle, baby. We get high off her art. How cool of a line is that? Um, who's up next? We did Uzama, William Brown. We did that. We did her. Now, if y'all watch this thinking, what is he doing? Singing people at name and all that stuff? Or you might be saying, that looks cool. I want a song. You can get one. Just be a consistent contributor. What's a contributor? Someone who puts stuff in the comment section that we can read, like Phyllis George does. Miss Phyllis George, she's got a logo too that goes, Miss Phyllis is here. So clear the way. Miss Phyllis is here. Now we can all have a great day. That's Miss Phyllis's jam. Miss Phyllis deserves her greeting that way. But she's been here longer than any of y'all. She's like an OG for us. I missed this comment here. Lindsay knows I can't stand a bully either. When I was a kid, I took pride in beating the brakes off my bullies, and I remain undefeated to this day. Laughing. Nowadays, I use strategies to handle detractors, bullies, as a genuinely eternal optimist. We have to work hard to maintain our inner and outer joy. Thank you, Lena Janelle. I apologize for missing that comment earlier. Yeah, right. Well, I was still focused on Dr. Beverly. You know, when her people put in the right hand lane, turn on the left turn signal. But that's worth reading, Lena Janelle. Thank you very much. Oh, Vicki Lynell Evans got a jam too, and it goes, Vicki Evans rocks. Steady, steady, excuse me, steady rocking all night long. Vicki Evans rocks. Steady, rocking till the break of dawn. It's really too far harmony to do Vicky, and I only got me. Katura Green has a jam too, and it goes back to life, back to Katura Green. However do you want it? However do you need it? That's Katura Green's jam right there. Good morning. Um, Katura, we went to some shows last weekend that you would have loved. You and Tarnez would have loved to hang out with us. Let's see here. We're gonna keep going. Vicky also says, okay, yeah, we read that. We read that. Lena Janelle says, Good question. We're Shirley had a blessed day. Everyone, Lena Janelle also submits. I ain't mad at you, BKM. Me Papi Chulo is both my friend and now my love. Hopefully, my next husband. Lena, because you want that and because you said that, now I want it for you too. Everybody here that loves and supports Lena, let's all send her our love and let's send that energy for her so that that can be reality. She's found someone that she's willing to publicly profess her love for them. And she even professed, hopefully, her next husband. Well, I want it for you too because I love you. I love you and I want you to have that love of yours as your next husband. I want it for you too now. Shirley Legion NY says, you will be well, Brian K. McNeill. Lena also encourages me. You got this, Brian. Lena says, sang, Brian. Shirley says, you will do well. No, Dr. Deborah. She goes, oh, no shoulder shake. I just don't look like me up here. I can't even do it right. So, wait, I don't know how to do it. But anyway, that's Lisa's job, the shoulder shake. The sun has finally come out. Yesterday was dreary and rainy. It rained all day, but now the sun is out. So I'm gonna start this lyric off, and you guys finish it. The sun is shining. There's plenty of light. A new day is dawning, sunny and bright. Now, what comes next? The sun is shining. There's plenty of light. A new day is dawning, sunny and bright. What's the next line? Y'all got it? Who sang that song besides me? Who sang that song? We send you love, Lena Janelle. That's coming from Shirley DeJeanette Wyatt. Lena Janelle, we want to send you love. Lena also says, Brian, I love how your empowerment family regulars all sing to each other. That is the coolest thing. I was talking to Jacqueline E. Rosier the other day about her wonderful project in the making, and we sang our songs to each other. How cool is that? I've done this with a few members, sing our songs. How freaking cool is that? Thank you, Lena, for telling me. Mark Greer comes in the room and says, you're right, Mark. He says, man, you aren't hitting Luther this morning, are you? That's right. It was Luther. But what's the song for extra points? What's the song? Uzama says, no, Brian, save the shake for Lisa. Dr. Deborah got it. But after I've been crying all night, the sun is cold and the new day seems old. Dr. Deborah get all the points because she finished the line. Thank you, Dr. Deborah. But you knew Dr. Deborah was going to have it. She rolled like that. Thank you, Dr. Deborah. Lena Janelle says, thank you, Shirley DeJeanette Wyatt. Thank you as well. Thank you for the story, Lena. Call it up. She called up Jacqueline Rosier and they sang each other's songs to them. How cool is that? That's right, Mark Greer. Since I lost my baby. Since I lost my baby. I'm still flying from last Thursday night when we went and saw the Temptations and the Four Tops perform here in Charlotte. One of the greatest concerts I've ever been to. Those old heads know how to perform. I read Sammy Davis Jr.'s biography, and at one time, Sammy Davis Jr. was the number one entertainer in the world. And he felt he put this thing in his book that he felt like he could tell how good of a performer was, how they got off the stage, because it takes a certain level of professionalism to leave the stage the right way. How to get on the stage and leave it the right way. He felt Michael Jackson had figured out how to leave the stage the right way because he had gotten to this level of professionalism. How you leave the stage. And these old heads, they've been doing this for so long. They know how to get on the stage performing, and they know how to leave in an entertaining way. That's higher levels of professionalism. These young guys, none of them can hang with that level of professionalism. It takes years to get to that level of professionalism. Lena Janelle says, the shake belongs to Lisa. You're right. Oh, thank you, Dr. Deborah. She bringing it. Originally sung by the Temptations and remade by Luther. Thank you very much. Maybe that's why it brought me there, but that makes sense to me. It's 9:53. My name is Brian K. McNeill. My partner, Dr. LisaSantiagoMcNeill, had to leave us early today to go get her haircut. I pray that you have a great day today on purpose, to paraphrase our friend Craig Sabb. Have a great day on purpose. If you don't have plans for today or plans for tomorrow, spend some minutes making one. I did honor my commitment yesterday. I told you guys yesterday one of the things I want to do to make my life better is to read 10 pages from a book. And I read 11 pages yesterday because I wanted to honor what I said. And I'm going to do it today again. I'm going to read 10 pages today. But first, I'm going to get me some breakfast. Brother Brian, be hungry. Y'all have a beautiful rest of your day.